Today on Make a Ticket Outdoors, we're going to celebrate 1,000 subscribers with my most frustrating build yet. Stay tuned. Alright, so the build you're going to see here soon is, hello train, this vibrating jig that's got a free floating head. This is actually the second one I had to shoot of this. Usually I just shoot it and say, you know what, you'll see how frustrating it is. I did it again, still frustrating. I think it's better than the first one does, so we're going to go with it. Again, thanks everyone. We're like 1,020 subscribers now, and I really appreciate it, and we need to talk about how we're going to celebrate. I could give away my wife's car and then get killed promptly. We won't do that. Spring's here. You can come over and mow my yard in celebration. No one wants that. I can invite you over and you can help me tear up the old shed foundation after we put it over on a concrete block. But no one wants that. Or I can make some lures this week and send them out to a lucky person or two. I think everyone would be okay with that. So I'll put some stuff in the description and we'll figure out how we're going to do this. Alright, so this is what we have for the build today. I've got a 5/0 spinnerbait hook, and if you look, I put a screw lock on it and you'll see why. This was a 1/2 ounce weight. It's going to be less than that now because I've opened up the back. What I did was drilled down through, then drilled in the back at a 90-degree angle, and then this part here I bored out with a larger drill head, and that will be where the hook gets tied into, and that'll give it a little bit more motion. So, and again, this is the second try at this. The first try worked, but I just didn't think I did a very good job filming it, so you can see I got a little bit of damage there. Got a skirt and a trailer. This is a Big Bite Baits trailer. Of course, my wire clippers and my round nose pliers, and a 8-inch wire shaft. Would be about, I think it's 24 and a half centimeters. I'll double check. All right, so let's get into it. Don't need this. Don't need that. Gonna need this. Gonna need this. All right. So the first thing I want to do is actually we're going to put the hook together first this time. It was a little difficult getting everything done the way I wanted it the first time because the hook was kind of a pain in the butt to deal with that screw lock on there. So what I'm going to do is kind of go backwards instead of putting the hook through and then threading it on. That screw lock makes it pretty tough. So I'm going to just push the screw or the head of the hook down through and kind of there. Okay, so let's make sure we got enough room here. Yeah, I want that really well exposed to allow that extra action. There we go. And hopefully that left a little of the screw lock still visible. Yeah, you can see it there, where I can use that for the soft plastic trailer. Yep, I just felt it poke me. Alright, see you. I'm just going to thread this right along. And it's got to go quite a ways because since it's not being Texas rigged or anything, since it's not being Texas rigged or anything, it's got to go clear down the shaft. Alright, see you? Got that through. And let's get down to that screw lock. Now, there we go. That's better. So you can see the screw lock right there. Just go slide it up on that. Give it a couple turns. Oops. Turning the wrong way, aren't I? Nope, I'm turning the right way. Righty is still tighty even on these. Okay, so now that is pretty secure on there. And here's what we got. This is the hook section. Again, we got the eye sticking out there, and we're going to attach that to a piece of wire using the dreaded loop. Whoops, broke the screw. Alright, so like any round loop I use, I start with about a 45-degree bend. Then I'm going to wrap it over the pliers there. And this part, I just kind of squish it around so we have a nice round loop. Because this wire is pretty stiff, what I'm going to do is open up that wire, that loop a little bit just by bending it to the side. That way I can get that hook on there a little bit easier. So let's get him threaded on. And the first time I did this, I did not have the skirt and trailer on. That created some problems. But now I'm wondering how much of a problem it's going to be when I'm trying to work with all of this, you know, and then still attach it to the lure and everything. Alright. I'm just trying to make sure I don't get the skirt wrapped up in the loop. Alright. Now I just got to clip the tag end off. Alright. So as you can see, it has plenty of room on that hook, or that eye, that round loop, to move around, and that's what we want. Alright, so let's get that tag out of the way. Next we have to go up and out through the top. And the way you accomplish that is you just put a little bend right here so you can thread it through. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to do two bends. I want this to come up and through instead of just kind of feeding through. And I know that sounds like a small distinction, but I think it will make a better trying to think of the word, functionality. That'll work. So there. As you can see, we're going to go, and this will be going up through the body. Let's see if we can get it up through there like this. We may be able to. Alright, so this is the most difficult part of this build, and I have to make a small hook eye there. I want to do it that way, and I'll show you why. I tested it earlier, did a couple shorts, held 20 pounds no problem. 30 pounds, that was a major problem. It died. But I think 20 pounds is going to be just fine for what I have to deal with around here. Alright, so here's the plane of the hook. I got my hook through here, and then I got the wire. I want the opened end of it to be at the bottom, and then the chatter blade will be at the top. So what I need to do is bend it around clockwise so I get that open spot right there. Hit like, hit subscribe. Ooh. So what I am going to do now is kind of push that hook up in there so it's up inside, and I'm going to just bend this back against the body. That will be where I start my loop. Go Go ahead and bend it a little bit more and I'll show you what I'm trying to accomplish here. Besides hurting my fingers, this thing is not the kindest to your hands. There we go. All right. Now, let's see if you can see it better. I'm going to bring it up and around. And there's a reason I went with the long wire, because I knew I was going to have to use some torque on this thing. Sorry. And I want that smaller, so I'm going to use the needle nose to really get it wrapped in there. Kind of cinch that down right here. Tighten up the loop just a little bit. All right, so there we have it. The chatter blade will be up here, and all will be well, right? That's what I'm hoping, at least. So if I put it through here and it comes up, yeah. I have to put the chatter blade on now because it's going to be a lot easier. If I don't, I won't have much torque on the loop and it'll be harder. But I do need to open up that loop just like I did with the hook. All right. Now, the reason I don't go with a closed loop like I normally do, where I wrap it, is when you wrap it, the circle, the loop, gets twisted. This I'm going to be able to push together so it's nice and straight, and that chatter blade is not going to have any problems with it moving and everything. So we'll just snip this off as close as I can. Oh yeah, this is the part when I did this the first time where I had a heck of a time. So I gotta cut it as close as I can right up against the loop. Which is much easier said than done. Okay, I'll be right back. That just shot through the house. I'm lucky Stephanie wasn't out here. All right. Stephanie actually found the wire, thank goodness. No one was hurt, especially me. So I'm trying to get this eye lined up better. I think I got it pretty good. Now, the only thing I want to do now is just close it up. All right, close up nicely. That ain't going anywhere. I just gotta put that on. All right, so we got the line tie on, and we have a football-headed free swinging jig. Got this idea from one of my TikTok buddies, Carolina Thump. That's at Carolina_Thump. He had the Chatterbait Freedom jig or something like that. They also make one that's the CFL, and it's more of a football head, and that's what I try to do here. Yeah, it should work fine. The one nice thing about this is it should kind of knock against the head when it's going through, make a little extra noise. But yeah, well, I can't wait to try it out. All right, so sitting here, I realize this has a lot of range of motion, but it also has the ability to go like this, and I'm not sure if that's going to be really conducive. I think I want it to stay a little bit more on one plane, so I think I'm going to put some epoxy in here. Like I said, this has been a frustrating build. This is Sullivan. He doesn't care if you subscribe to my channel, but I sure do. Alright, so there you have it. There's the build. This one was frustrating, like I've said many times. Just getting it right and on video was tough enough. And it wasn't a straightforward build either. Like I said, the first time I did it, it worked okay. It looked fine, but it was just so frustrating, and it was really, really hard to film. That's one of the things I'm really finding difficult, even 100 and some videos in, trying to get the builds in where you can actually see everything. Then there's the occasional visit by Vader and his brothers. The girls leave me alone. These guys, not so much. Yeah, that's you. See? He's a pretty awesome cat. Overall, it goes without saying, and I've already said it 1,000 times, thank you so much for subscribing and all that good stuff. Liking and subscribing, ringing the bell, all that. You guys know all that by now. Thanks for sticking with me. I know sometimes my videos aren't the best, but have fun. And if this weather ever gets a little bit warmer, I'm going to go out and fish with these lures. On that note, you have a great day and tight lines.